from a strategic standpoint. In some cases, the pathway to do that is more challenging because you may have, for example, certain tooling that's set up, from a machining standpoint. You may have, if you're doing injection molding or thermoforming of components, as an example, where you need to invest in tooling, and then sometimes there's single source. So it kind of depends on what it is, right? So if there's a lot of tooling up front, then it's usually going to be a single source, and unless there's a problem, and that tooling could then be transferred to another place where you actually invest in another company and spend the money. But usually things have to go wrong prior to that happening.
Yeah.
Like you have a lot of quality issues, or you have to have, they're not able to meet your deadlines and always late or something like that. So I think
Got it.
most cases that's probably rare, and so it's a combination of both. Although the desire is to dual source everything.
Got it. And when you think about sort of pricing in the contract, do you typically have fixed pricing or built-in deflation, or particularly around the cutting tools?
Well, sometimes the way I would approach it is, yes, you want to, get the lowest price. So sometimes, depending on the instrument, we'll bid it out to 2 or 3 different companies. If we have dual source or so. It's then it kind of depends on the cost and the lead time. So one company, you say, primarily, we'd like to send it to Orchid, for example. However, if they come back and tell me, hey, I got a 16-week lead time, and I'm going to run out of product in 12 weeks, I got to come up with something else. So what could be done is we'll say, hey, I'll issue 2 POs, and I'll say 80% of the order goes to one company who has a longer lead time, and I can get lower prices.
Okay.
And then I'll pay a premium price on a smaller percentage of the overall order to another company that can give me parts quicker. And so that's a way that it happens commonly, like if we're dealing with things, and a company can't deliver on time, but they have very, very good pricing, So usually it's a combination. They can keep the prices low if you give them plenty of time. If you got to accelerate that, then compress those lead times.
And would you expect every year the price to go down or stay about the same?
Well, that'd be great. I think it's one of those things that goes down basically driven by, how many competitors they're facing, and is it just a commodity product that everybody can do. I would tend to, an example, I won't, just because Orchid provides very good quality product on the cutting instruments, for example, I may pay a little extra just because I know I'm not going to have to deal with a lot of quality nonconformances and things like that. Like the parts come in, I know they're good. It's less hassle, right? Now, in a case where, that's typically what will drive it. But a lot of times I'm looking at price overall. And if a company, all things considered, 2 companies you have good experience with, someone comes in with better cost and lead time, they're going to get the order that time. But it doesn't mean they're going to get it the next time.
And do you work a lot with implants at all?
Oh yes, definitely. Right.
And so, is that something that is outsourced, or is that also something that's pretty much made in house?
No, it's the same. It really, I think, depends on what you're making, right? And if you have some special process that's required, or some special technology that maybe you've developed and you want to control yourself and not put out there to a company that could use it for someone else. So again, it's implants or instruments, kind of the same. It's if they have the capability to do it, outsource it. If it's something special that you need to control, then you would keep it inside, and it's the same decision essentially for implants or instruments.
And for implants, what are the outsourcing providers that you work with? Is it also Orchid, or is it someone else?
Currently, Orchid's doing work for us. Jabil now.